My rant today is about a TV show called Tiny House Nation. You know, I don't watch TV much. I usually try and watch what some people may call reality TV, which I know is fake. A lot of people hate it. I don't watch the drama shows. I try and watch educational shows, things that can help me in my life. So one of them that I've discovered is Tiny House Nation, and the reason I started watching this is because I was looking at getting some property in a rural area, and then also in a different state. And so I was looking at ways to do it inexpensively and not have a huge mortgage. And it was suggested to me that I should look at tiny houses. So on that show, the issue I take at hand with Tiny House Nation is the way they glamorize it. They're still doing like the photojournalistic glamorization, like, oh, get a tiny house, oh, it's awesome, you'll love it, it's the best way to go, you save money. But yeah, sure, that can all be true. I'm not ripping on that. Here's the issue I have, is they immediately say on the show, oh, this guy has a budget, it's $30,000. He's going to build this little tiny house on a trailer. And everyone's thinking, oh, 30 grand, I can do that. And that's all they ever talk about. They may have touched on one or two other things occasionally, but here's my issue. They do show them with large dualies, big pickup trucks hauling these occasionally, but they never say you have to have a truck to haul it. So, you know, that's $30,000 for the house. All right? What's a big old dually cost now? 40, 45, 50 easy? Okay, so they said, well, don't buy a new one. Buy a used one. Okay, so then you have the issue of buying someone else's problem. You know, and they have all these certified ones. Oh, it's blah, blah, blah. You get down the road, you know, 12 months down the road, it starts falling apart. It's a money pit. All right, so now you're hauling a trailer that's huge, that you just can't leave anywhere. So either you do, you know, 40, 50,000 for the truck, along with hauling the trailer, that's 30,000. That's a nice RV. That's a nice Class C RV right there, and which is self-contained. Well, then people say, well, I want the wood, I want this, I want that. I can understand that. I'm not going to argue with the flimsy walls of an RV versus this house on wheels that has to be hauled by a truck. So the truck breaks down on the highway. Now you got a special situation. You're going to have to be towing both of those, two vehicles behind a tow truck. That's going to cost you buku bucks. Where are you going to park it when it breaks down if you're on the road? Millions of issues. So first, I have issue with the money. They're glamorizing $30,000 to build it. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's not the end of your costs. So that's where I take issue. Tell everyone every single episode, here's what it's going to cost. Vehicle, insurance, gas, blah, blah, blah. Go down the whole list. Now, where are you going to park it? Okay, so a lot of people are saying I'm parking on my family's property, my family's farm. And they'll show this nice horse pasture. And, oh, we're going to put it out there with the horses, and we'll be... Okay, they never discuss being self-contained. I think one episode, maybe they touched on something at the bathroom. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think it was like a pump toilet, or that could have been a different show. That could have been Doomsday Preppers, which is also what I watch. Which I know Doomsday Prepper is all about those people are advertising. Everyone on there is selling something. But sorry, I digress. Let's move back to Tiny House Nation. So anyways, you're going to put this out in the field, all right? How are you going to get fresh water? You've got to have that. Where are you going to dispose of sanitation, the dirty water, the toilet water, and electricity? Okay? Electricity is probably the easiest to haul out on a family farm. But you're going to dig pipes, you're going to put plumbing in the middle of this field, you're going to put sewage in, you know, and this is a temporary fix. How many thousands of dollars? Have you ever looked at just putting in new construction from the curb, you know, from a street that's existing? The city pays for it. You got to pay to the house. Now you're on a farm, bigger land, temporary. So how are you going to handle the sanitation? How are you going to handle the water? They never address those issues. Right now, these people say they're going to live in it for their job. They're going to move across the country. Great. All right, so now for them it's fine. I'm not criticizing all these people that are on the show that want it. I'm talking about the TV show projecting it out to the audience and not addressing these issues. People go jumping into it and they're like, oh, I didn't know I needed $50,000 for a truck. Oh, where am I going to park it? Sanitation, water, where am I going to put all this? You know, because they're talking about using every square inch And the lofts you can't even sit up in. You go to, you know, they showed one guy, he's like sitting like this. But the average person, you're sleeping, you get startled awake, bam, you hit your head, you're out. Hopefully you're not dead. So that's a whole different issue. But now you're moving across the country, you got to park it somewhere. All right, so you go to RV park, are they going to accept it? You got to hook up electricity, plumbing, you know, water, all of that. They're going to have all those hookups for that. Do you have to have RV fittings on it for water and sanitation? You know, what's up with that? How much is it a month? You know, because you're living in this, so wherever you're at, you got to park it and pay for all of that. So that's a given, but they're just not addressing it. They're making it sound like this is so luxurious, so glamorous, so super easy. Every show they need to be telling people, yeah, it's $30,000 for this. You need to buy a vehicle, or if you're putting it on your land, that doesn't matter. But you got to put in plumbing, you got to put in water, you got to have electricity, all these different things. You know, if people are off the grid, that's a whole different subject. But this is why I take issue with these shows like Tiny House Nation. I know they're in it to make a buck. I agree with them. You know, that's what they do for a living. That's what they're good at. They're just going to do this show, pitch the idea. Network's going to sell advertising. They make money. They're happy. Hey, I wish I could do that. But it's just, they're dumbing down people. And they're not telling people, hey, this is all it costs. Okay, so you want to do a show just showing Tiny House Nation, saying, oh, here's a tiny house. Yeah, just go that way. You know, do like some garden show where they just talk about, oh, visiting gardens. But they're pitching it, telling people, hey, do this. Move in. And they're not addressing all these costs. Transportation, the insurance with that. Like one show they mentioned a CDL. The guy had to have a CDL because it was so big. He had the limit, like 13.6 or whatever. They don't address going to CDL school, getting your med, you know, your med dot. You got to pass that. If you have a CDL, you have to pass the Department of Transportation medical card. So you need that medical card. They don't talk about that. All right? So there's this, this just bugs the crap out of me. You know, and they don't care because it's a fast buck. The show will run its course like all the others, and it'll be in reruns or it'll just be gone forever. But these are the things that bug me. I try not to let them bug me, but it's just there's too many stupid people out there that don't realize. And they think, oh, this is great, I'm going to go do it, and then they're screwed. You never hear about them. They're not going to talk about those people. I need to go relax. I had to get this off my chest. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.